and do this, and that takes the step back, and that's why we get we go back to that lower score if in the turn of the forehand they start to back out of it. Make sense? So you have to give them time, because this is a harder movement, and it takes up more of a thought process for horses than does the panic run backwards one like that. And if you think about it, you can feel it. You can feel it. Yeah, that was really good. That was super. Okay, I'm going to go back. We're going to do your test again. Take your time. So you're one of those lucky ones that has a ton of homework to do as well, because you're thinking about frame. So we'll try to improve it as best we can. Go ahead and trot yourself around the ring, or do whatever you need to warm up a little bit, and then we'll start the test again. I'm going to give you the same advice I gave the person before you. Please bring this horse in the ring. This would be the horse I like to want to judge. And don't let him get behind your leg first. Make her work. This is a great learning experience for your horse. She's going to find out she can go in the show ring and actually put in a day's work here. And that you're going to correct her when she's not correct. That's why dressage horses don't get sour when they get older. Because they don't ever go out in the ring and just get ignored. They last for a long time. She's not going to vote to come back here again.
Enter working job.
You really worked hard on that symbol. That was really good. 7, quite balanced. Fairly consistent, 6. Could show more. Slight resistance on that, 6. Fairly balanced, 7. Some resistance. Okay. Needs consistent energy and stretch, 6. A little short in neck, 6.
Down the center line.
Quite balanced in your neck, 7. Nailed it, 8. Okay, friends, way better test in a couple of places. That ball, from where I sat, was absolutely on the line and square and straight. And I don't have any idea what it looked like from over there, but from over here, I looked up and I was, putting all my numbers in, and I thought, holy cow. And you held it. And you held it long enough so I could believe it, okay? And it was, I don't give that, that really was one of those moments where I thought, holy crap, the horse is on the diagonal, and he's halted, and he's not moving, not even the tail is moving, and the neck is quiet, and you sat there. And that was really, really, really good. That was like, if you can have a high point in the test, it's all. So, yay. But she didn't screw around with her neck. And I know we screwed around with all these little halts, but the one thing I want you guys to realize is that that halt counts for as many points as your Canada part does. So you go out and you bust your can working on your Canada part, when you could bust your can working on your halt and get a bunch of 8s and 9s, because your halts were consistently better in this test. Some of the other stuff was pretty much kind of in the same range. There was something but it's a homework course. We talked about that. It's a little bit the way she needs to work consistently. But in this case, we picked one place that we were going to work on, and that was the halt. And she said, okay, I can do this. It didn't take an act of God. It didn't take changing tack. It didn't take a whole rider change. It took just saying, you know what, lady, you can stop and put your neck out and halt. And it's great when they have 4 white socks and they halt like that because you can really see where they are. But it was a really neat thing. I didn't have anything. This test looked overall, I think it was fairly similar to the other tests. I don't think it was more than a couple of points different, except in the halts. But that could be enough to change your placings in the class. Because she halted just like she is right now. Absolutely on 4 legs with her neck relaxed. And that's the point of this Western dressage stuff. They don't have to halt as hot, quote unquote, as we say for the dressage horses where they gotta be ready to move up. They have to halt, like they'll stand there and then let you put your leg on them. Now granted, then you went to do your turn on your haunches and she needs to be hotter. Well, you can see why they put that there, right? So if you go for the 8 halt there, they still have to be alive enough to move off your leg. So you get the 8 halt and then they get an 8 turn on the forehand would have been really, I mean, it's hard. That would be the hard part of that, what I said, really difficult movement. But she came into that halt better. It was still a little above the bit, but she came into it stretching your neck down rather than putting on the brakes like that. So that's what I saw, and I went, okay, so I'll go back now that I'm expounding on what the hell I was talking about. Your gates, I'm in the 7 range. I think it's between a 6 and a 7, and I'd have to say, I would be, 6/7 to put that on your thing. And I'll tell you why the 6. Sometimes the trot doesn't stay clean, and I have to be tough on that because that's my job as the judge. Fix that, and I love her a lot, but trot not always clean, and in the walk she loses a little energy, doesn't keep herself up in front of it. So I'm really going to say a 6. If I'm sitting here thinking this way through it, that's what I have to say because I want you to notice that and say, oh wow, there's a lot of things she does right, but I'm losing points on that trot, not consistently. So it's not taking out every movement to a 6. But it's going to take out every, there's enough places that it happens that it bugs me, so I'm thinking, maybe I've seen you for, like half an hour, 45 minutes. Your impulsion score is going to be 6 for the same reason. So, needs a little more energy, needs to move itself through. Submission score, the only thing that ever got me in the submission, I'm going to say your submission score is higher than your impulsion score, though, so I'm going to go a 7. But I'm going to put a little notice there and say, watch sure her neck doesn't become short, because we went from having your nose stuck straight out to having your nose a little bit deep a couple times here. When I say short, it means that they're overflexed. That's the dressage term for overflexion, is the neck becomes short. So I'm just saying that because I want you to notice that. And then we're going to go through our rider's remarks. I think your accuracy was consistently better. Correct and effective use of the aids. Sometimes, I'm going to give your rider's position a 6, and I'm going to say, remember to sit back and make your horse carry you, okay? Because I got to say that, you're doing a tougher test now. Your effective use of the aids I was okay with. That's where that would come in a 7. I felt like you were on, and I made the comment during the 20-year circle that as a judge, I could see you training in there, but not in a bad way. You were telling her to keep her butt moving, I could see that. So, that made me feel like, instead of sitting there hoping she didn't walk, you did something. So I'm going to give you a little credit there. Even though I'm going to say your body could be in a little better spot, but at least you freaking wrote the test. You got something done. And it showed you wrote the test because you got really good halts. Those are rider things. Your accuracy, I'm going to say a 7 in your accuracy, and I'm going to say a 6 in your harmony. Because your harmony score, I'm going to come down a little bit and just make a little commentary about horse needs to be more respectful of rider's legs, and this is on the comment. Horse, consistent, but needs to be more respectful of rider's legs in many movements, and then parentheses, turn on the haunches, and consistent rhythm in trot can still give you more points in this test. And that's what I would write at the bottom, because I have a feeling when I watch this horse, there's more in her than you're getting. It might be a little baby spur, a little English spur, a little something like that, but she's got to move when your blood goes on her. And that's not something you fix today. That's something you fix over the winter. That's a full-time thing. She can't kind of cruise along, because if she does, she's going to make it a habit pattern of not moving the back legs, and not working up to your hand. So does that sound legitimate? Okay, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I think this is the toughest thing in the world to come out and do this, because I know you're coming in, and I'm gonna have to tell you what's wrong and what's right. So I appreciate you doing this in front of God and everybody here, because it's a little tough. Thank you. I think we have lunch.